In recent months, a new controversy has erupted in the political landscape surrounding Vice President Kamala Harris, fueled by none other than the ever-controversial tech mogul Elon Musk. Known for his polarizing statements and unpredictable nature, Musk has taken it upon himself to shed light on what he claims are the darkest secrets of Kamala Harris. He paints her rise to the vice presidency in a far more sinister light than anyone anticipated. These allegations have gripped both the public and political spheres as speculation mounts about Harris's upcoming face-off with Donald Trump in the 2024 election, following President Joe Biden's decision to step down from the race. Musk's claims have sparked a media frenzy, and his far-reaching influence ensures that any information he presents spreads rapidly. According to Musk, Harris's ascent to the second-highest office in the land was not the result of her political acumen or her hard-fought battles in the Senate and as California's Attorney General. Instead, Musk hints at a web of conspiracies, backdoor deals, and elite-level favoritism that have positioned her for power in ways unseen by the public. As these accusations unfold, Harris's campaign for 2024 could be significantly impacted, with many wondering if she can effectively combat both Trump and the mounting suspicions now hanging over her candidacy. One of the key accusations Musk has leveled against Harris revolves around her alleged involvement with influential political donors and Silicon Valley power brokers. In a scathing attack, Musk, who has become a larger-than-life figure in Silicon Valley and beyond, claimed that Harris's connections to high-level tech executives have been instrumental in her political climb. While it's no secret that Harris has ties to many influential figures in California due to her long political career in the state, Musk's comments suggest that these relationships run deeper, perhaps bordering on ethically dubious alliances. Musk implied that these powerful allies may have smoothed the path for her to become Biden's running mate in 2020, bypassing other qualified candidates. While many pundits dismissed these claims as conspiracy theories or the exaggerations of a man with his own political motivations, Musk's massive platform has made it difficult for the accusations to go unnoticed. What makes Musk's claims particularly compelling to his audience is his intimate knowledge of how power operates in Silicon Valley and how wealth can influence politics behind the scenes. He suggests that Harris, well before Biden's campaign in 2020, had positioned herself as a favorite among the tech elite, leveraging her relationships to secure donations, media coverage, and ultimately a place on the ticket. Musk also touched on what he described as the invisible hand guiding Harris's political career, from her early days as a district attorney in San Francisco through her rise to national prominence. He pointed to her swift ascension through the ranks as evidence of strategic alliances rather than purely merit-based success. According to Musk, Harris's political career has been built upon a foundation of carefully crafted relationships with key players in politics and business, people who, in exchange for their support, have pushed her forward at every turn. He implied that such connections and favors might explain her sudden emergence as a vice presidential contender after a relatively short tenure in the U.S. Senate, raising questions about the integrity of her candidacy. As these rumors swirl, they have ignited deeper questions about how political power in the United States is actually distributed. Musk's assertions seem to echo broader public concerns about the intertwining of wealth, technology, and political influence. For many, his comments have reopened discussions on whether the country's leaders are truly elected by the people or if their rise is preordained by a small group of elites working in the shadows. Whether or not Musk's claims hold weight, the fact that these ideas are being brought up at all signals a shift in how many voters view the political process, particularly in an era where billionaires and corporations hold tremendous sway over the direction of the country. What makes this moment even more striking is the timing of Biden's sudden exit from the 2024 race, which has only served to magnify the spotlight on Harris. As the current vice president, she is now positioned to become the Democratic Party's primary candidate, and Musk's revelations threaten to cast a shadow over her campaign from the outset. Harris will likely be forced to address these accusations head-on if she hopes to maintain credibility, but the damage could already be done, particularly in an age where public perception is shaped so quickly by social media and the rapid spread of unverified information. In this environment, Harris will have to navigate an already challenging political landscape with the added burden of conspiracy theories questioning her legitimacy. As she prepares to face Donald Trump, a seasoned political fighter known for his own embrace of controversial tactics and conspiracy theories, she may find herself playing defense from the very beginning. Trump, who thrives on sowing doubt and casting his opponents in the worst possible light, will likely seize upon Musk's comments as further ammunition in his attacks against her. Trump's own base, deeply entrenched in their mistrust of mainstream politics, could use Musk's allegations to bolster their beliefs that Harris, like many politicians, is part of an elite establishment that works against the interests of ordinary Americans. Musk's role in this unfolding political drama is particularly significant, as he is not simply a passive observer. His deep influence in both the technological and political arenas means that his statements have a far-reaching impact. Musk has built a reputation for challenging the status quo, whether through his revolutionary work with Tesla and SpaceX or through his outspoken critiques of government and societal norms. His recent takeover of the social media platform X, formerly Twitter, has only amplified his voice, providing him with a direct line to millions of followers who often take his word as gospel. Thus, his remarks about Harris are not easily dismissed, as they come from a figure with both credibility and clout in the public's eyes. The implications of Musk's revelations could extend far beyond the 2024 election. If his claims gain traction, they could signal a broader reckoning within the Democratic Party and American politics as a whole. Harris, once seen as a trailblazer for women and people of color in American politics, might find her legacy tarnished by allegations of backdoor dealings and under-the-table favors. Her ability to inspire and mobilize key voter bases, including women, minorities and younger voters, could be severely undercut by a growing sense of disillusionment with her candidacy. At the same time, the very nature of Musk's claims could also play into a larger narrative about the dangers of misinformation and conspiracy theories in the modern political arena. As 2024 approaches, the line between fact and fiction in political discourse seems increasingly blurred. Musk's statements, regardless of their veracity, are likely to fuel the fire of skepticism that many Americans already feel toward their political leaders. This skepticism, if left unchecked, could further erode trust in the democratic process, leaving voters to question whether their choices truly matter or if the game has already been rigged by unseen forces. For Harris, the road ahead is fraught with challenges. Musk's allegations have forced her into a position where she must defend not only her political career but also her very legitimacy as a candidate. The public will demand answers, and how she responds could determine the trajectory of her campaign. Will she be able to dispel these rumors and refocus the conversation on her policies and vision for the future? Or will she become entangled in the web of conspiracy, unable to shake the doubts that Musk has so effectively sown into the public consciousness? As Harris prepares to face Trump in what promises to be one of the most contentious presidential elections in modern history, the stakes could not be higher. Both candidates are polarizing figures in their own right, and the battle between them will likely shape the future of American politics for years to come. Trump, ever the master of political theater, will almost certainly capitalize on the drama surrounding Harris, using Musk's claims to question her integrity and rally his base. Harris, on the other hand, will have to strike a delicate balance between addressing these accusations and staying focused on the issues that matter most to voters. What makes this confrontation all the more fascinating is the broader context of an America deeply divided. Musk's comments have come at a time when trust in political institutions is already at a historic low. Many Americans feel alienated from the political process, convinced that their leaders are more beholden to corporate interests and wealthy donors than to the average citizen. In this environment, conspiracy theories often thrive, providing simple answers to complex problems. Musk's framing of Harris as a product of such backdoor dealings taps into this sense of disillusionment and distrust, further muddying the waters of an already volatile political landscape. As Elon Musk's claims about Kamala Harris continue to stir up a maelstrom of speculation, the ramifications extend far beyond the immediate questions of her rise to power. At the heart of this controversy is a deeper concern about the mechanisms of influence within American politics, particularly the role that elites and corporate interests play in shaping the country's leadership. Musk's allegations may seem like salacious details to some, but to others they reflect long-standing fears that the political system has been co-opted by a select few at the expense of the broader electorate. This concern has only intensified with Musk's revelations, raising important questions about the transparency and accountability of the country's most powerful figures. For years, the idea that political power is concentrated among a select group of wealthy donors and influencers has pervaded American political discourse. The influence of lobbyists, super PACs, and high-power donors has often been criticized for warping the democratic process. Harris's connection to Silicon Valley elites, as Musk suggests, plays directly into this narrative. As the 2024 election approaches, the American electorate could find itself increasingly skeptical of the very systems designed to represent them, further deepening political cynicism. For some voters, Musk's claims offer validation of their worst fears, while for others, they represent yet another example of how easily powerful figures can manipulate public perception. As Musk's statements continue to reverberate through the media and online platforms, The 2024 election is shaping up to be an unprecedented battle, not only between two political figures but between competing visions of democracy itself. In an age of misinformation and disinformation, the line between truth and conspiracy has never been thinner. How Harris, Trump, and the broader public navigate this uncharted terrain will define the future of American politics for years to come.